Um, just a football play. Just a man just trying to make sure another man's protected up on a Sunday afternoon. I mean, the last thing you want is for a man to not be wearing a cup during an NFL game. Mac Jones, a true guy out there, just trying to take care of another man. Not gonna say that I'm out there just tapping guys nuts, but if a guy's out there tapping mine on a Sunday during an NFL game, I'm gonna say thank you, keeping me in check.
On the couch or on the field?
Both.
What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Rocky Top Ramble back, but with some sports news, some football talk. We're picking our best college games from the week, making a few parlays. We're going to do our lock of the week. We're going to do it all. So here we go. Let's start off with the new news of the week. Stole that from the Kelsey brothers. And you know what else? Travis Kelsey in the news because he's dating Taylor Swift. Christian, I can't believe it. I mean,
I think that's great for the NFL.
ooh,
I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I know that it might not be the biggest thing out there for relationships or whatnot, but Travis Kelsey after this game on Sunday gained like 400,000 followers on his social media. He went from, I think he was like top 10 in like jersey sales or whatever around the league. I think he's number one jersey sale around the league now in the past week. And I don't know. I mean, just the whole thing, NFL football is big, but you pair the NFL with Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift is her own NFL. She is that big. And the best part about it, I think she's on a break from tour for about 2 months. So I think we're going to get to see a lot of OT Swift in the stands for some Chiefs games.
hey, all I'm saying is the Chiefs' kingdom just combined with the Swifties, and there's not another fan base in the NFL that's going to be able to compete with the Swifties, besides maybe Bill's Mafia, and that's because they'll put them through a truck and table. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, good for Travis Kelsey. He's caught a lot of things in life, and one of the hottest pop stars, literally and figuratively. He's got it. He's got it right now. Sloop doesn't agree. He doesn't like Taylor Swift. He doesn't want to talk about Taylor Swift. We'll move on to the next one.
I'm just looking forward to the breakup song.
The Dolphins put up 70 points up against Sean Payton and the Broncos. Fellas, what are we thinking about that one? Because I know what I'm thinking.
The biggest stat of the day, that was a scoregami. If you're not aware of what a scoregami is, it's the first time that unique score has ever happened in NFL history.
Oh, okay. Hey. Shout out to Broncos for helping to make that happen, dude. That's beautiful.
Did anybody take the under?
If you did, I feel sorry for you.
I mean, my gosh. I guess Broncos Nation. Let's ride, baby. Give it up 70.
I don't think that heck of a ride because
I don't think Russell Wilson's put up 70 in 18 games, 19 games now, 20 games for the Broncos. Poor guy.
Yeah, that's a tough one, dude. I feel bad, not really for Russell Wilson, but dude, I like Mike McDaniels or what's his name? Is that his name? That's not his name.
Mike McDaniel, no S.
Mike McDaniel.
I'm pretty sure.
I had that wrong.
Not plural.
Not plural. There's only one of them. One Mike. Okay.
There's over under for that game was 47.5.
Jesus, they broke it by 30 themselves, just about 20, 23. That's wild. That's insane. Kudos to them. Shout out Tua, man. Shout out Tua. I traded him to start the fantasy year, so that's a tough look for Tim Tom here. But another thing that we got on our list here is a little bit of intimacy, and not in the Travis Kelsey Taylor Swift way, but in the little boys being boys way. We got Mac Jones gave old Sauce Gardner a little nut tap on Sunday. Sauce wasn't too happy about it, threw him to the ground. What do y'all think about that one, Christian? Is that just football, or is that a little more? Is that a little extra? Was
I'm
he
just
trying to? What's going on here?
I'm wondering if it was a backhand or if it was a forehand. I don't know if he grasped
That
and got a big a big handful,
oh man,
or if he gave a little finger tap just to make sure the boys were all right down there.
right. That's
But I do know that Sauce posted a video today on Twitter, on the X now, excuse me, and he posted it and he said, "Just posting this so I won't get fined." And it was clear as day that he did get a nut tapping.
I'm going to call the title of this video on Twitter. X videos. Mac Jones touches Sauce Gardner's. All right. That should have plenty of clicks, surely. I know Sloop. If he saw that one, that's a double tap right there. he's expanded that tweet. We'll just say that. But yeah,
Mac
that's
Jones touches Mac Jones touches Sauce Gardner, South Carolina Gamecock.
Oh man, that's bad though. Yeah, the big question was it the front of the hand or the back of the hand? Because there's a big difference in those two. You know what I'm saying? Um, Sloop, what'd you think about the maybe incidental dick touch?
Um, just a football play. Just a man just trying to make sure another man's protected up on a Sunday afternoon. I mean, the last thing you want is for a man to not be wearing a cup during an NFL game. Mac Jones, a true guy out there, just trying to take care of another man. Not gonna say that I'm out there just tapping guys nuts, but if a guy's out there tapping mine on a Sunday during an NFL game, I'm gonna say thank you, keeping me in check.
On the couch or on the field?
Both.
Oh, we need to move on. We need to move on. Colorado versus Oregon. Oregon's coach said they don't play the game for clicks. I forgot what the other part was. But yeah,
They play it on the grass,
they
baby.
play
This
it
ain't
on the
Hollywood. We
grass.
play it on the grass.
Yeah, they play it on the grass. And they played well on the grass. They kicked Coach Prime in Colorado's ass. It was a well, I can't describe it as that, but they got beat really really bad. Yeah, it was a good old fashioned butt whooping. A bad day to take Colorado to cover. I don't know who would have picked that in the last episode, but it wasn't a good pick for that one. I think the big thing in that game, though, was I don't think Coach Prom has the offensive or defensive line to compete with the bigger schools like that, the little more already established schools. What y'all think about the game?
I'm on the Prime train. What he said after the game with you better take your shots now because this is the worst he's ever going to be. He's right. I mean, that's just point blank. This is the worst he's going to be. And if this is the worst he's going to be, I hate to see what USC is going to do to him this Saturday because it could get really ugly with Caleb Williams. Because, I mean, that was Bo Nix. And we all agree Bo Nix is probably going to get some NFL general manager fired for drafting him. But Caleb Williams is a different story. He's an NFL QB waiting to happen.
Christian, what's your thoughts?
Football West is just so different, man. You've seen so many quarterbacks from over here on like the Southeastern Conference, even the ACC, they go out west, and they're just I don't know. It's just like the defenses aren't as good out there, so they thrive in the Bo Nix situation. But I mean, Prime was exactly right. That's the worst they're going to be. I mean, he had a complete roster overhaul of 85 players. Um, you walked into a place where you're on the road at Oregon. You can tell that Oregon has been doing what they've been doing for a long time, and they just got absolutely dominated in every single phase of the game. And you know, Fedor got sacked like 9 times. The offensive line couldn't hold up, and This kind of goes to show that like even the teams that they had kind of played before, they were not that great. They're going to take some slackings this year. I mean, that's just part of it. Whenever you have a roster overhaul like that, I know that they got a lot of hype, but I mean, they deserve it too. I mean, they won one game last year. He's already won three this year. He's one win away from going over on the wins total that they had him projected at this year. I think their win total is 3.5.
They'll
So
definitely get there. They got
yeah,
some cupcakes coming up as well. Um, but I think sometimes with those quarterbacks, it's just a change of scenery and a change of coaching top too. I think some players, they like the tough coach and they do better with that. Other players, that's not really their forte. They want to be treated a little bit better, want to be babied a little more, and then they thrive better that way. I'm not saying that one conference does that more so than the other, um, but that's just kind of how it is. Change of scenery is always nice. But we're going to go into our college football picks of the week. Sloop, he's going to read off the games, the line for the games, and then all of us well, if we want to, we'll pick what we would bet on for that one.
To start, we got a little Friday night banger. A little over again. A little Utah versus Oregon State. Oregon State favored to win by 3.
Ooh, Oregon State favored to win by 3. I think I'm going to take
Utah.
Utah to cover on that one, especially after that Washington State Oregon State game. Last week, that was Sloop's lock of the week. We hit the over on that. Got Tim
Cash it.
Tom some cash on there. Both the locks of the week for us to hit. I don't know about you, Christian, but yeah, I'll take.
yeah, mine hit it. Mine hit as well. I had Texas A&M -8.5 against Auburn. They won. I don't know by how much, but they won pretty handily.
Nice. But yeah, I'll take Utah to cover the +3 there.
I will go the opposite way with that. I'm going to go with Oregon. You're back to the wall. You take one on the chin last week. You're at home on a Friday night at 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock out there on the West Coast, and you know Utah's good. Utah's won the conference, I think, the past 2 years. But I'm going to roll the dice here and go with Oregon State.
All right. Then we're moving on to USC, Colorado. USC favored to win 21.5.
Man, it'd be hard for
I'll
me to
take
take Colorado to cover on that one after last week. But if I had to choose between two, I'd pick USC to cover.
I take Colorado in the points just because it's at Colorado. I think that the defensive side of the ball for USC is not nearly as good as the defensive side of the ball is what Oregon has. And I think they will be able to score some points. I do not think that they will win this game. I do not think that they might lose by 20, or 21. But I still think at 21.5 they could cover that at home.
I'm with Christian. I think Travis Hunter comes back. I think they cover that 21.5.
I think he's out. I think they ruled him
No,
out
he's.
today.
Did they? I thought he said
Yeah.
he's coming back.
Nah, I think they ruled him out today. I was watching Paul Feinbaum's show and I thought I saw that come across the bottom of the screen.
He's supposed to be out. He's supposed to be out. I mean, I know he's wanting to play, but I mean he's not ready to play yet. Man, that's the last rated liver. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
We got a Florida, Kentucky at Kentucky. Kentucky a 2.5-point favorite.
I think I'd roll with the Florida money line on this one. Just Florida straight up win. I don't know what the odds are, but I'd probably bet that if I was a betting man.
I'm going to take Kentucky to cover. I think that Kentucky plays Florida really well, plays a really good early season game. I don't think Stoops does a good job of adjusting halfway through the season. So I'm going to take Kentucky to win early, and I would almost bet the under. Fun fact, Kentucky is 13-1 against the under their past 14 games. I'm sorry, 13-2 now. They hit the over last week versus Vanderbilt.
Christian, what you think?
I would love to take Kentucky in this game because I don't. I still the thing is like I don't know about either one of these teams. I don't know. Like Kentucky went and played Western Kentucky, won 24-17 early on in the year. Florida goes to Utah, gets absolutely manhandled, and then we go down there and just absolutely hand them a game. Obviously, we didn't play the best either, so I don't think Florida's that good, and I don't think Kentucky's that good. I don't really know which way to go this way, but if I'm just off past years, and I guess my hate for Florida, I'll go Kentucky.
Moving on, we got a Georgia 14.5 favor over Auburn. Taking Georgia.
Yeah, I'm taking
Yeah,
Georgia
Georgia.
to cover that one. There's no way they have 2 bad weeks in a row. And last week really wasn't that bad, but they'll beat Auburn pretty good. Auburn's bad.
Christian?
Yeah, I got Georgia covered. I'll take Georgia to cover on that one.
We got Kansas versus Texas. Texas 17-point favorite at Texas. I'm going to take Kansas right here, guys. I think Jayhawk football, I think that it's been on the rise the past couple of years. I think it's going to continue to rise right now, and they're going to be able to make this a game.
Kansas to cover or Kansas money line?
Kansas to cover.
I could get on that train, Kansas to cover. I feel like Texas, they've been playing really well. So they're due for a little overlook game here against Kansas, and it'll probably be a little tighter than what they want it to be, but Texas probably pulls out like a one-score win, I feel like.
Yeah, every single year Texas lays an egg somewhere around this time. So I could definitely see Kansas covering. Just because you guys both picked it, I'm going to go Texas minus 17, but I could definitely see the Kansas cover.
Let's see. We got a Missouri 13.5 point favorite versus Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt. I'm thinking Missouri.
I really can't believe you're taking Missouri over Vanderbilt's home field advantage here. In that case, I will take Missouri to cover that one.
What's the over under of players that get hurt walking through the construction zone to get into play at Vanderbilt this weekend? Where's that line?
Set the line at
Take
3.
the overall. I'm going to take the over on that line. But the Missouri, I'll take Missouri. Vanderbilt, they need to change spots with Tulane. Bring Tulane back in the SEC.
I'm all for that. Like to see some green waves in the SEC.
Well, LSU 3-point favorite over Ole Miss at Ole Miss. Ole Miss coming off a tough loss to Alabama. I'm going to take Jaden Daniels and them to cover versus Ole Miss. Kelly's got him playing decent football. Jaden Daniels, probably the best quarterback in the SEC right now.
Ole Miss's defense is just too bad for me to ever bet on them. So I'll take LSU to cover and then probably also take the over. I don't know what it is in this game, but if it's like a decent number, this would be a good game to take the over on.
Yeah, I agree with Tyler. It's hard for me. 66? No, I don't know. I don't think I'd take the over on that.
Still mine.
I think that Lane gets them right, though. I think that I bet the points is in the 60s, but I don't know if it'll go over 66. But I think Lane gets them right. I think I'm going to take the Ole Miss in this. I just don't trust. I don't trust LSU.
We got Notre Dame 5.5-point favorite versus Duke at Duke. I'm gonna take Duke to cover that. I think Notre Dame's gonna have another bad game again this week. Played really well all the way up to those last 2 plays versus Ohio State, where their coach forgot that you had to have 11 on the field, not 10. So I'm gonna take Duke to plus 5.5.
Man, he said he didn't want to risk a penalty. You're already 4th and inches. I feel like you got to run the extra guy out there regardless and have him maybe just tackle the quarterback before the ball snapped or something. I don't know. But I think Notre Dame does bounce back. Like I said last week, I'm a big fan of their quarterback. So I think they'll cover. I think they'll beat Duke by a touchdown to 10.
Yeah, I'm going to take Notre Dame as well. I still believe in Notre Dame. I think they're going to win out, but they've got a really good chance to win out. They got USC later on in the year, but I'll take Notre Dame to cover this. Just a quick point here. First time College Game Days ever making the trip to Duke this Saturday.
Oh,
First
wow.
time ever.
Shout out Duke.
We got Alabama versus Mississippi State. Alabama, a 14.5-point favorite. Mississippi State, not very good. Alabama, I'm not going to say they're not very good, but they're a mediocre Alabama team. It's kind of weird to say. I'm going to take Mississippi State to plus 14.5.
Cowbells will be ringing, but I will definitely take Alabama. I don't think that Mississippi State can stop the run attack.
Yeah, I think Alabama's going to cover this one. I think Alabama is starting to get their head on straight, especially with that win against Lane last week. I think their defense looked a lot better, and I don't think Mississippi State's going to be able to throw or run the ball on them. So I'll take Alabama to cover.
What's your guys'
Last,
lock of the week? I want one.
well, let me get through the spreads right here. Last one, UT versus USC Junior. UT is a 12.5-point favorite on a Monday night.
I'm thinking Vols, baby. I'm thinking Vols by 20. So give me UT to cover this game. Nealon's going to be rocking. We're going to be playing good on all three phases. We're going to be running the ball down their throats. And it's going to be weird, Sleep. It's going to be real weird, but we're going to see that clock just chugging along Saturday night because we don't even have to throw the ball. We're picking up 10-yard gains every time we give it to Dylan Sampson. Might be even scoring on 50% of our touches. Who knows?
I'm gonna take Vols by 50. Spencer Rattler's not going to be able to handle Neyland Stadium. He's going to be a little rattled. USC Junior is just not going to be able to compete. Falls by 50.
This is actually my lock of the week. I'm taking Tennessee to cover with Neyland Stadium rocking. I don't believe that they can come in there. I think that their offensive front for South Carolina is going to. I think our defensive front, and if we play aggressive the way that Tim Banks, whenever he's at his best calling the defense, blitzes, brings a lot of 6-man pressures, a lot of 7-man, sometimes seven-man pressures, and different things whenever that stadium's rocking. Last year you could tell a huge difference. You could tell Bryce Young was uncomfortable. And that is one of the hardest guys in the world to make uncomfortable. And whenever Neyland's rocking, it's rocking. And I just can't see Spencer Rattler pulling out a win. I mean, it's Spencer Rattler and a bag of chips out there playing football.
I agree. I think my lock of the week is going to be Utah plus 3 against Oregon State. I definitely think they're going to hand it to the Beavers. That's what they are, right? Beavers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're going to hand it to the Beavers. The Utes are going to pull out their spears and bow and arrows and take them back to camp with them.
My lock of the week, I'm going to ride with the same thing I did last week. I'm going to go with the over in the Oregon State game. Utah, Oregon State. Over under's 45 right now on a Monday night.
Oh my
I'm
God.
taking the over. I mean, it's hard for me to not take the over in that game.
What is up with Vegas and these over unders for Oregon State games? They not.
I don't know. They do not believe in DJ
What is-
Ukulele.
What is the over under for the Tennessee South Carolina game? Just randomly right here. I'd like to see that.
You're looking at 63.5.
I could still see that going over.
It's still not even the highest over under of the week. Colorado USC 73.5.
Oh my God.
I would say that one goes under.
I would take the under on that one. That's my lock of the week. I'm taking Utah Oregon State over. I might even parlay. I might even parlay that with like a USC minus 21.5. Just jumping into the 3-way parlay next. I'm taking the over USC 21.5, and I'll take I take Mizzou minus 13.5
I feel like that's a good one.
versus Vandy. I think it's
Yeah.
safe.
I'm actually going to throw a little 3-leg parlay out there and have 2 from the same game. The Utah plus 3 against Oregon State. The over from that game. And then, mm, I would say the Mizzou line, like what you were talking about, but I do want to make it a little more different. So I'm going to do the Notre Dame line -5.5 against Duke.
Yeah, that would be my first links. The Notre Dame -5.5 versus Duke. After that, I would take I'll take Ole Miss +3 at home against LSU, and I will take Tennessee -12.5 against South Carolina.
I love it.
That's a little
I
bit of
love
that's
it.
a little bit of a risky that's a little bit of a risky one, but for some reason I think that Notre Dame bounces back. I think that Neyland's going to be rocking, and I think that I just never trust that LSU team, man. You never know what you're going to get from Saturday to Saturday. It's just a different team that shows up. It seems like every single week.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's move on to our NFL segment. Sleep, you want to run through these or you want me to do it?
I got you. We're gonna start with a little classic matchup on a Thursday night. We got Jared Goff versus Jordan Love. Lions -1. Right here, I'm taking Lions. I don't even think it'll be close. Jameer Gibbs is getting in the end zone this week, according to Christian. So I'm taking Jared Goff to go in there and dominate a Jordan Love in Green Bay.
I am definitely thinking that Jameer Gibbs gets in the end zone. However, I think Jordan Love is he's the next line of Packer quarterback that just becomes great, and they're going to beat the Lions this Thursday.
This is a tough one. I'll go with I'll go with the Lions. I'm riding the dang Lions bandwagon this year. I'm kind of hoping that they pull something out. I like their coach. I think that they play with a lot of dang energy and effort, and I enjoy watching them play. So I'm going to go with the Lions.
Next we got a little Desmond Ritter versus Trevor Lawrence. Falcons versus Jags. Jags a 3-point favorite. Think it's in Jacksonville. So you're looking at Jacksonville -3. I'm taking Bijan Robinson to run all over that Jacksonville Jaguars defense.
I'm thinking the
Take
same thing.
Falcons +3.
Yeah, I don't think the Jags score enough. I think the Falcons they get a few turnovers, they get in scoring range, and they just pound it with Bijan.
I am thinking the exact same way as you guys. I'm taking the Falcons.
We got the high scoring Mike McDaniels, Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill versus the Buffalo Bills, who are a favorite to win this game, -2.5. Josh Allen versus Tua. I'm. Ooh, I
Golly,
hope that game's on TV.
I do too. Just by chance, anybody got the over for this game?
I'm taking it, whatever it
100.
is. Whatever it
It
is.
better be 100 because they're going to score
Hammer it.
100. Um,
Hammer it. Hammer it.
I'm I'm gonna take the Dolphins to beat the Bills by more than. Well, I know it's the other way around, ain't it? I'm taking Dolphins to cover +2.5. That's all day, especially after last week. I mean, it's the Broncos, but God, they look good.
I think Mike McDaniel puts their team in the best place to win every single week. But with that being said, the Bills looked really freaking good last week too against Washington. I'm gonna take the Bills cover.
Oh gosh, we got the shit bowl of the week. Broncos -3.5 versus the Bears. Da Bears.
I'm not gonna watch this
Give
game.
me the
I'm not
dang
gonna pick this.
Broncos.
I'm
Oh,
not. I'm not picking this game. This game is terrible. It probably shouldn't happen.
I'm
At
taking
this
Bears
point,
money line.
Bears money line. Yeah, I would
Taking
hop
Bears
on.
money.
I would hop on that with you. Fuck it. Why not? You know.
We got a Ravens Browns. Browns a 2.5-point favorite. Browns coming off a big win versus Tennessee Titans. Ravens coming off a overtime win versus the
No, they got
Colts.
beat by the Colts. They got beat
Oh,
by the
an
Colts.
overtime loss. Matt
Yeah.
Gay kicks a field goal to win that game. I remember that now. After Justin Tucker missed like a 65-yarder to try and win it in regulation.
I mean, Justin Tucker, he rarely misses those, but we got to tip our hats to Matt Gay in that matchup, by the way. He set a Colts franchise record. No Colts player had kicked more than 2 50-yard field goals in the same game. We're talking about Adam Vinatieri never did that. Matt Gay stepped up and nailed him. But in this game,
what a gay guy.
In this game, I got the Ravens. I'll take the Ravens.
Yeah,
I'll take Ravens money line. Yep.
Yeah, I think the Ravens get back right. They win.
We got Steelers -3 versus the Texans. Steelers coming off a big Monday night win versus the Raiders. Texans got their first win of the season last week. I think, right? Don't tell me I'm lying there. Texas with a big win.
They beat the Jags.
CJ Stroud with a big win last week. I'm still taking Steelers -3, but shout out CJ Stroud, an Ohio State alum.
Yeah. Give me the Texans, I guess. Just because.
I'm thinking Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers and points. We got a Vikings -3.5 versus the Panthers. Vikings only a 3.5 point favorite, still without a win going into week 4.
That's tough. If I had to make an NFL lock of the week, it would be this one: Vikings to cover that 3.5 spread. I think they absolutely demolish the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm agreeing there.
Yeah, I'd take the Vikings in this game -3.5.
We got a Rams versus Colts. Colts a 1 point favorite. I'm taking the Rams. I think that Cooper Kupp's on pace to come back next week. I may be wrong there, but I think he's on pace to come back next week. Anthony Richardson should be back next week out of concussion protocol. I'm still taking the Rams +1. I mean, Rams money line I think gives me more odds. So a Rams money line there.
Yeah, I'd probably hop on that Rams money line as well. Although they are playing not the best against the Bengals right now.
Yeah, I'd take the Rams as well. I just don't believe in the Colts, even though they may be 2-1.
We got a Bucks versus Saints with a line that's not out yet, so I'm calling it a push line. Straight money lines here. We don't know anything about Derek Carr on Monday night, so I'm sitting here. I'd still take the Saints. They got Ignoramus Jameis backing them up, so I'm gonna take them.
And Alvin Kamara comes back this week.
And Saints all the way.
So I'd take Saints money line on this if it is a push.
I'd take Saints. I'd take Saints in the points, whatever it is, too.
That's what I was about to say.
I'm going to take the Saints. I like the Saints this year. I think that their defense sets them up to win any game they're in.
We got Commanders versus Eagles. Line's not out yet. Eagles doesn't even matter what the line. Eagles in the points.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Eagles in the points. They're gonna make it back to the bowl this year, dude.
Let's see. We got a Bengals versus Titans. Bengals a 2-point favorite in Nashville. Gosh, this played so bad Sunday. Derrick Henry was non-existent. Probably the worst coach game we've seen Mike Vrabel have.
It was badly coached.
Gosh, I want to take the Titans, but Bengals are playing so bad it makes me want to take them. I'm going to take the Titans money line.
As a Titans fan, I'm going to take the Titans money line, and as a Titans fan, I'm going to lose money on that bet.
Yeah.
I'm definitely taking the Bengals. Jamar Chase looks like he's getting back right tonight. He's got 9 receptions for 90 yards right now. He has pulled me within 4 points right now of beating the number one person in our league tonight.
Dang.
And if I would have just played a quarterback, I would have won.
We got a Raiders versus Chargers. Chargers -5.5. Jimmy G for the Raiders in concussion protocol. Going into this game, I'm taking Chargers in the line.
Yeah, I'll take Chargers money line.
I will not take the Chargers because their coach I don't know if I trust him. That guy went for it on his own 20. Somehow they still won. But Brandon Staley, I think is his name,
Yes.
tries to lose games, I'm pretty sure. So I do not trust him.
We got a Patriots versus Cowboys. Cowboys a 7-point favorite coming off an upset loss versus the Cardinals. Patriots coming off a win versus their little son, the New York Jets. Uh, in Dallas, I'm gonna take Bill Belichick to cover +7. Cowboys to win though.
Give me Patriots money line after last week. Trayvon
Shoo!
Diggs was huge to that
Hey.
defense. Mac Jones is going to dot them up.
Micah Parsons is literally might break his back.
That might
I,
happen.
Pause.
I definitely think that the Cowboys win this game. I think they get back right. But if it comes down to a one possession game, I can guarantee you Dak Prescott will throw an interception. It will happen.
We've got a Cardinals versus 49ers. 49ers a 14-point favorite over the Astro Dogs. Cardinals coming off a big upset over the Cowboys. 49ers coming off a win. Christian McCaffrey looking great. That whole offense just looking studly under Brock Purdy. Defense looks fantastic. I mean, that 49ers 14-point favorite is a huge favorite in the NFL. Still, I'm just going to take 49ers money line. I can't bring myself to think that an NFL team can do that.
Did they not watch my boy Dobbs last week? I mean, my goodness, he took the best defense in the NFL and just made him his, But yeah, 49ers to cover, I think.
Yeah, Dutch Dobbs did make every single one of them their South Carolina Gamecock last week. That's what we're going to make South Carolina look like this year or this week. But anyways, yeah, I love Josh Dobbs. Gosh, I'd love it for him to win. I'd love it. Hey, if he can go out there and cover every single week, he has done an unbelievable job. And he's definitely got some fire in his gut, as Brendan Staley would say, or whatever his name is down there, freaking Arizona. But I like the 49ers too much. They're too well coached, have too many weapons on offense. Whenever you pay a quarterback $780,000 a year and then you stack everybody else around him, I think that's your favorite to win the Super Bowl.
We've got a Chiefs versus Jets. Chiefs 9.5-point favorite. Biggest bet from this game is will Taylor Swift be there again to watch Travis Kelce?
Is it
I
at
hope she's
home?
not. No, it's in New York. But
Kelsey
it
doesn't
is the
have a
Sunday.
box in New York.
It is the Sunday night game. Zach Wilson in prime time is undefeated this year. I think that I'm going to make the prediction here that Taylor Swift is up in the box in New York. Aaron Rodgers may try to get up in there, but maybe. I'm not sure. Probably not. He's a little old for her. But I'm going to take Chiefs and the points.
I'm going to take Chiefs in the points and Taylor Swift to not be there. She's too cool to go to 2 NFL games in a row.
Eagles are at home, so the Kelsey mom might be at the game for the Eagles. So
that might matter as well. Taylor Swift is also an Eagles fan. So
Chiefs to cover. Taylor Swift is at the game. Look at Travis Kelce.
On the sidelines.
Did you not see her? Did you not see her whenever Travis Kelce scored that touchdown this week in the box?
Let's fucking
He
go!
screamed. She screamed an explicative word, and I think she was fired up. You know, they said that Travis Kelce just went out there and ran his own route. Said, "I've got to score. If she's going to come watch me play, I got to get in the end zone."
Yeah.
So hopefully, he definitely scored in the game. I hope he scored it that night too. So we'll see.
last game of the week, we got a Seahawks Giants. Giants a 1.5-point favorite. Danny Dimes over Geno Smith, and that should be elite offense, but kind of trash. I'm gonna take Dabble to outcoach Pete Carroll this week. I'm gonna take Giants money line.
That's crazy, especially with Saquon being out.
It don't matter. Danny Dimes got the legs.
Seahawks to cover that. I might even go a little alternate spread. Seahawks to cover a 3-point spread.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'd pick Seahawks probably about -7 right now with how bad the New York Giants look. They look terrible. They've been outscored like 60 to something in the first 2 quarters of every single game. It's been awful.
Hey, if I'm
Uh,
Saquon with this contract negotiation going on, all this running back getting underpaid, I would be in no rush to come back.
that's all
Another
your
off.
NFL game. That's all your NFL games for the week. I
And
mean,
that's your NFL segment brought to you by Little Debbie's. Again, Little Debbie's the best in the business. If you aren't getting oatmeal cream pie, then what are you doing?
Well,
Fellas,
I got a question.
all right.
I was going to ask it last podcast, and because it was kind of going with the Vols, but we always talk Vols here. So I got one question for you guys. I know that we've seen Dylan Sampson run a lot, obviously, or needs more touches. But what do you do with that running back room that we have for the Vols right now? I feel like that is our best weapon that we have inside of the whole entire offense. Because, like, personally, I think that Jalen Wright's our best. And I just want to hear your guys' opinions.
I think what you do is get two of them on the field at the same time. I mean, if
I
it's a
like
third
that.
down, if it's a third down and 8, I think your best situation is. I mean, you could have one in the slot, one in the backfield, or two in the backfield. You know, one
I
bumping
like that a lot.
a defensive lineman, one going on a route, um, and then the other one being like your little safety net there. Because both the guys, Jalen Wright and Sampson, with the ball in their hands and in any type of space, I believe is going to get close to the first down, if not getting the first down. Um, Small's one of those. I think Small, we need to transform him into our short down back. Um, he's the one I feel most confident in. If it's 2 yards or less, he's getting 2 yards. Um,
Yeah.
he runs so hard. He hits the hole so hard, and he's always falling forward, and it's a great thing to have in our backfield. So, I think with the running back room, what we need to do is define like roles, kind of like what NFL running back rooms do. So I think he's kind of how the Titans. We got Derrick Henry. He's our short yardage back plus our first down back, and then if we're third and long or second and long, we got Tajay Spears out there. At least that's what it should be, Sleep. But yeah, I think we just need to define the roles with the running backs and get them on the field at the right times. The counter to that is if we're subbing running backs, then we let the defense sub. So it's kind of
Exactly.
like whoever's out there to start the drive is going to be out there, and that's the downfall of our offense in some ways, but the great thing about our offense in some ways, because if one of them gets going a drive, then it's over for the other team. Soup, what you think?
I think I like the idea of having two running backs out there at the same time. The only thing it takes away from me is what wide receiver are you taking off the field when you do that. I mean, you got Dante Thornton, Ramel Keaton, Brew McCoy, Squirrel White. Which one are you taking off the field whenever you run the two running back set like that?
Probably Squirrel,
It's
because
usually
that's who you're trying to replace in that situation.
So I mean,
it's
I'm
usually
good with that.
it's usually a lot of times it's a tight end set. It's a 20 personnel, which means that you go 2 running backs, 0 tight ends. So we're a lot of times we're like in what is it, 11 personnel.
Yeah.
So where we're 1 running back, 1 tight end. A lot of time, and like Georgia last year, whenever they had both their running backs, they were in 12 personnel all the time, where they had 1 running back, 2 tight ends.
I definitely think we
So
need Wright and Sampson in the position to get the ball more. We're kind of stemming over into just fall talk. So if y'all don't have anything else to say about the upcoming college games, the NFL games, or the Taylor Swift news, then I'd say this podcast was pretty good at success.
I think it's a wrap, boys. I think that the greatest thing that just happened to me this week just happened. I had a 25% chance to beat Jack, and Jamar Chase has went for 11 receptions, 134 yards, and got me 24 points.
And
now I am up 3 in fantasy. So shout out Jack for letting the last place team in the league come in there and just kick your ass.
A wise man once said, "It's never chalked."
No, he's still got T to play. He'll probably beat me. He's only got 2 receptions today for 21 yards.
Hey, Jamar's hot though. Oh, Joe better keep throwing it to him. But fellas, I really appreciate y'all hopping on the podcast again. It's good talking to you. We'll see if our locks of the week stay like our locks of the week last week. And if you're a fan of the boys, you better be hitting those locks, boys. You better be hitting those locks. Because we don't miss. We do not miss. I mean, look at...
We had a good week.
I had a good week betting too. A little too good of the week, so next week's going to be humbling me.
Well, we were 3-0 last week in our locks.
3-0 in the locks. So if you ain't locking our locks, then what the lock are you doing?
Yeah, put that in a parlay. Put that in a parlay and smoke it.
As Taylor One says, because my laptop is literally 2%. Big hugs, tiny kisses from the boys. Love you all. Have a great week. Vols by 50. Titans win. Midway win.
God. Stay hydrated. Peace and love.